Hey everybody, my name's James and the channel here is West Tennessee Live, and I really appreciate you stopping by. I wanted to talk to you today about a subject on a question that I get asked quite a bit. A little while ago I posted a video about how to start a business, and this is kind of a follow-up video to that. I've been working for myself. This September will be about almost 4 years, and starting out, one of the hardest things that I had to deal with was how to charge people. How to figure out the increment of, whether it was by time or whether it's by labor, by hours, by job, how to figure that out. And I'm just going to touch on a couple of things here, and maybe it can help you. This is just how I do it. This may be the wrong way for you. You got to figure out how you do you in your area with your clientele, whatever it is that your occupation is. You have to figure all that out for yourself. So I'm just telling you how I do it, and maybe this could be a help. So I'm going to give you two answers. One answer is going to be pretty boring. I'm going to give you some hard numbers as to how I figure out what to charge with roofing. That's my main occupation, is putting roofs on. And then with other stuff, whether it's building a carport or doing a driveway, spreading gravel, or whatever else, I'm going to give you a whole other answer for that. So this first answer is going to be somewhat boring. Maybe the second part will help you a little bit more. So for starters, when I go to put a roof on, this is how I charge a customer. The material right now, this is the beginning of August 2024. The material, the metal, costs $150 a square. How do you figure up a square? You take the roof, you measure the length, or the length of the sheet by the width of the panels, and you times that, and that gives you your square footage. So you take a house, say it's 2,500 square foot on one side. You drop the 2 zeros off the back of it, which makes it 25 squares. $150 times 25 squares should be $3,750. I normally charge whatever the material is for my labor. So if you put $3,750 together, that should come to somewhere around $7,500 for the total job. $3,750 for the material, $3,750 for the labor. Over and done with. That's pretty cut and dry. That's simple. Rule of thumb in our area is whatever the material is what your labor is. Not always. Every job is subject to change, depending on difficulty, how far you have to travel, all this other good stuff. That's just a very boring, generic answer as to how I charge for a roof. I don't know if that's going to help you at all. This next part, this is the conclusion that I come up with. When I go do tractor work, when I go do driveways, if I build a lean-to, anything besides my regular occupation, I normally try to charge per day. When I go to build a lean-to and there's lumber involved, it's a little easier because I still charge whatever the material is. If I build a lean-to and the material is $1,000, I will charge $1,000 to install it. So whatever that may be, I still kind of do that. But I'm sure we've all, when we this kind of work, being self-employed, there's certain things that there is no set price list that you can use to get down to the dollars and cents of what you should charge people. And sometimes it's difficult. So what I try to do, and again, this might not work for you, I'm just telling you what works for me. I try to figure out an amount, what I would like to make per day. Whether it's diesel, whether I have to drive, whether I have to buy chemical, material, whatever it is that I have to buy, I want to be able to clear a certain amount a day. If I'm going to go, say I'm going to do a brush clearing job, where I'm going into a property and I'm bush hogging, I'm taking trees out and all that other kind of stuff, what do I want to make per day? I'll just go ahead and tell you. I personally really like to try to make around $500 a day. That's buying diesel, that's traveling, that's breakdowns, that's equipment, whatever it is that I have to use, I'm paying for out of my own pocket to go provide a service for somebody else. So I personally try to make somewhere around $500 a day. If I'm going to go out and cut trees and cut limbs and clean up a guy's yard or property, whatever, I just tell him per day. And I say, it's probably going to try to be X amount of days for me to do it. When I first started working 3.5 years ago, if I could make $500 a week, I was really happy. If I could make $100 a day, whether it's picking up trash or fixing a toilet or doing a driveway or whatever it was. It was good money for me. And again, that's my bills, that's my food, my family, what I have to pay for. It was fine for me. I don't know what it is for you. You may need 3 times that. I don't know what your circumstances. I'm just telling you what mine is. Now with inflation, the cost of living, everything just going ridiculous, parts and all this other stuff. If I take my tractor out and I blow a tire on the first day, I mean, whatever I would charge them would completely eat up all of my profit. So you do have to take all of that into consideration. If I take my truck and tractor out and on the way to the job I blow a tire on my trailer, I have to pay for that. The customer doesn't pay for that. I have to pay for that. So you have to build those things in. That's why I try to get $500 a day when I go out to work. It doesn't always work that way, but you know that's what I do. If I'm going to go do a job that's only going to take me half a day, I'll charge the customer $250. And again, that's just what I do. I don't know where you live. I don't know what your circumstance is. I'm just telling you how I do it. Now, how do I determine the increment of $500 a day? What you have to do is you have to realize what doing that job is worth to you. Okay? Let me try to explain. When it comes to land clearing, you take a person that charges $100 an hour. If they've got an excavator, they go out and they work 8 hours in that day, and they charge $800. That's fine for them. That's what they want. That's what it's worth to them. My main occupation is roofing. That's my bread and butter. That's how I make my money. To me, this other stuff is extracurricular. Those are the things that I fit in between my jobs when I'm not roofing. If I'm waiting on material or the weather or whatever else, I can fit some of these other little things in between. So the best thing I can tell you to do is you look at a job and you think to yourself, it's going to take me this many hours. I have to use this much resource. I'm going to burn this much diesel. What is it worth to you? And I think sometimes where people really falter with this is they look at a big company that's got the big machinery and the big this and the big that and the big name and all the insurance and all that other stuff that they have to have. Oh man, well they're making $1,500 a day, so that's what I'm going to charge. That's apples and oranges. Unless you have the insurance, the big trucks, the big names, all the guys and all this other stuff. If you're a sole proprietor and all you have is a lawn tractor and you're going to go mow somebody's yard, you can't charge them what the big guy is charging who has 5 different trucks and 20 guys working for him. I hope this makes sense. You have to look at it for yourself, determine what it is worth to you. For me to go take my tractor, my equipment out, if I could make $500 in the day to do that, I'm happy with that. My neighbor, he may do the exact same thing, but it's not worth it to him to hook up his truck and trailer for $500. And that's fine. I'm not trying to undercut anybody. I'm not looking at prices and say, well, he's charging $1,000, I'm going to charge $750. I'm not doing that. I'm looking at my own bills, my own resources, what I have to accomplish, what I have to pay, and that's how I set my amount. For instance, I had a guy just call me the other day and asked if I clean gutters. I don't clean gutters. Can I clean gutters? Yes. This fella, he called somebody and they were going to charge him like $300 to clean his gutters. And maybe that's a good price, maybe it's not. I don't know. Myself, I look at it and I think I would not want to pay $300 to pay someone else to do my gutters. What is it worth to me to get in my little truck with my leaf blower, go to the guy's house, and blow his gutters out? What is it worth to me? I said, hell, I'll do it for $100. He lived right down the road. I was able to, it took me longer to drive there just about than for me to actually do the job. I cleaned all of his gutters out all the way around the house, came down off the ladder. He handed me a $100 bill. I was happy. He was happy. End of story. You don't have to go around and look and find out what everybody else is charging and then try to either charge above or charge under. Forget them. Let them go do their thing. Let them go do their stuff. I look at what I need to make so that I can provide for my family, so that I can give to my church, so I can pay my bills and put groceries on the table. And again, you might get on here and you might be firing mad because I'm giving bad advice. Don't look at it that way. You have to figure out for you. Nobody else can figure it out for you. You have to determine it for yourself. That's what I do. That's how I make a living. I've been doing it for almost 4 years now, and it seemed to work so far. In my other video, I talked about on how to start a business. If your whole goal is to take care of your customers and you just want to see people helped and taken care of, the Lord is going to make up the difference in all of that. That's a huge factor. If you don't factor God into your business, in my opinion, your business is going to fail anyways. But that's, again, that's my opinion. I find out what's worth it to me to perform the service. That's what I base my price off of. You have to determine that for yourself. So I don't know if that helps you at all. I don't know if this video makes any sense to you. I hope it does. I hope I got my point across. I appreciate you watching the video. If you've stuck it out to this long, I appreciate you watching. If you're into this kind of stuff, leave me a like. Please consider subscribing. I looked on my analytics the other day, and 97% of the people that watch my videos don't even subscribe. So if you've waited this long and watched the end of it this far, please consider subscribing. It would really help my channel. I'm trying to build the channel. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. My name's James. This channel is West Tennessee Living. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next video.